I'm Danny Susky, and I'm up here from Atlanta, Georgia for the Hudson Hot Air Affair. This is our second year here. This year I've come up with my crew, Rob and Tracy Hofstadter, who are also my crew on gas flights, and Brett Cashman, who crews for us at a festival in the Shenandoah Valley in the fall usually. This year up here in Hudson we'll be flying a hot air balloon called Skakuza. It's a regular shaped balloon which is essentially in the colors of the flag of South Africa, and that's an African word. It means the man who turned everything upside down. Our sponsors this year are the Hudson Hot Air Affair themselves. We do fly a gas balloon as well, and there's a large difference between the two. A hot air balloon, the balloon itself or envelope is made from a fabric, either polyester or nylon, and as you know, you use a burner to heat propane. The propane burns, creates hot air, and the hot air being less dense than the surrounding air causes the balloon to rise. You have enough fuel on board usually for about 1 to 2 hours of flying, and then you land. A gas balloon is entirely different. A gas balloon is filled with a gas that is lighter than air, either hydrogen or helium. And once the balloon has been filled on the ground, you can't add any further gas to it. So once you leave the ground, that is all you have on board. To make the balloon up, you need to make the balloon go up, you need to essentially lighten your system. So you carry sand as ballast. And if you release some of that sand, the balloon is lighter and goes higher. And to make the balloon come down, you release some of the gas. Because you're carrying a fairly large amount of gas, the flights are much longer. And most gas flights will be 24 to 36 hours, but sometimes as long as 60, 70 hours long, non-stop. Sure, the Gordon Bennett, or Coupe Gordon Bennett, is the oldest air race in the world. This was started 100 years ago. It's the 100th anniversary this year by James Gordon Bennett, who was the publisher of the New York Herald. And he was a man who was not interested in ballooning, although he founded the oldest aviation race in the world. He was not interested in automobile racing, although he founded the first automobile races. What he was interested in was selling newspapers. So he created events in order to sell newspapers. The most significant two events he created are the Gordon Bennett, which lives to this day, and of course he's the man who sent Stanley into Africa to find Dr. Livingstone, all with the purpose of selling newspapers. So to this day that race continues, and I think it can be thought of as the World Cup of ballooning or the Olympics of ballooning, because each country is invited to send their 3 best teams to the event. And those teams go over, fly the race, and whoever wins the race, that country has the honor of hosting the race the following year. So this past year, 2005, the race was held here in the United States because it had been won in 2004 by Richard Abruzzo and Carol Davis. And they brought the cup back to the United States, enabling us to host it this year. This past year, 2005, it was won by the Belgians, unfortunately not us. So we'll be going over to Belgium later this year to again represent the US and fly the Gordon Bennett. We flew for 39.5 hours non-stop and covered just over 1,200 miles, about 1,220 miles. We launched out of Albuquerque on a Saturday evening and landed on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan on Monday mid-morning, just shy of the Great Lakes. Well, leaving out of Albuquerque, essentially you have a choice. There's a big mountain right on the east side of Albuquerque, the Sandia Mountains. So the choice is to jump over the mountain right away or to creep north. We chose to creep north around the mountain to conserve our ballast. So we left Albuquerque, a major city, flew over Santa Fe, another major city. Then we flew over the plains through Kansas, up to Omaha, Nebraska, flew right over the downtown Omaha, Nebraska. And then we turned more easterly and came over Minneapolis around midnight or so. And then we came right over Hudson at about 3 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning, surrounded by a couple of thunderstorms, but we crossed the river right here, right over Hudson. We landed in a little town named Wharton, Michigan, which essentially consists of a post office and a few houses, and I would guess the population is less than 200 or 300 people, very few people. We landed in the back of somebody's home, in truly the only clear space we found. We had been flying above the clouds during the night, and when the sun came up, we couldn't see the ground. We weren't sure what the terrain below us was, and we came down through the clouds and we saw more trees than I've ever seen from a balloon before, which is very pretty, but it's not great for landing a balloon. And we kept going until we could find a small patch of land to land before the water. And we came across this very small patch of land, but we decided we better land there. And we did. We landed in the back of somebody's yard. No, we have, I think, the greatest crew in gas ballooning, and I really mean that. Most gas balloon teams will arrive at the landing site 10 or 12, 14 hours after the balloon. And I think that's easy to understand. The balloon is flying a reasonably direct route, flying fast. The team on the ground is making decisions about the route to take. They can't drive direct because the roads don't go direct. So they have to make choices, they have to make guesses, they have to make assumptions. And to arrive 6 or 8 or 10 hours after the pilots is very, very common. We landed in Wharton, Michigan in a tiny little field, and 35 minutes later, our team, Tracy Hofstadter and Rob Hofstadter, drove into the field and packed us up. To me, I think that was one of the most remarkable things about our flight. We were here in 1998 at the Hot Air Affair, not to fly a hot air balloon. Again, we flew a gas balloon. In fact, that was my first training gas flight. I was already a hot air pilot, but I had the opportunity to train in gas, and we did it here. And as I'm sure you remember, there was a Civil War reenactment, and the balloon was used as an observation balloon, just as it was during the Civil War. So we came up to Hudson and used a balloon out of Minneapolis that belonged to Don Picard at the time, inflated it here, participated in the Civil War reenactment, and then flew from the school, and we landed in somewhere in Minnesota. It was a wonderful flight. We had a great time. And it's really because of that we decided to come back this year. We haven't been here in 10 years because it's a long way from Atlanta, quite frankly, and it's cold. But we decided we had a great time 10 years ago. We just should go back and have another good time. I think the Hot Air Affair is what I would call a good-sized festival. I believe there are about 40 balloons. And other than 3 or 4 other events in the year that we go to that have 200 to 1,000 balloons, most festivals have 20 or 30 balloons. So 40 is a good number. That's one difference. Certainly flying in the cold, flying in winter is very different for all pilots. Most ballooning in this country does not occur in the winter, but the balloon behaves differently. It flies more easily, it flies longer, it flies cooler. Of course, the scenery is very different. I'm a little nervous about big white patches not being water when I land, but I guess I'll learn that. And I think there's a great sense of spirit and fun up here in Hudson. There's a terrific support from this community and from your sponsors that we don't see at all events. We do see at many. But when you come to a place like Hudson where the community is very much involved in this event and has been able to support it as long as they have, for us as the balloonists, that's a fantastic feeling. We know they want us to come, and we certainly want to be here, and that support is critical.
Precipitation's not a problem. Problem is, anyone observed the pieball, there's little winds there.
So it's got a nice flow on this direction. But good morning, Pat.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Great, great. Looks like it'll be a beautiful morning.
Just do a tether?
No, we're gonna fly.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Well, this is a Cadell collapsible basket, and the balloon, which is a clown-shaped balloon, was made in Brazil. And the name of the balloon is Tiki. It's named after a famous South African clown, given that we're from South Africa. So, we fought today, but we couldn't keep it up.
How many cubic feet is it?
It's 105,000 cubic feet. But it's a very vertical balloon, so it flies differently to a regular balloon. It tends to go up and down extremely quick. So you have to pay attention, otherwise you fall out of the sky. Because it accelerates up and down like a racing balloon very quickly.
POW, MIA, leading the parade.
Hello there. We are on, all right.
And I'm Flake, and I got Flame with me, so we're going to try to give you a pretty good blow-by-blow of the parade.
Feeling warmer already as they come by.
And our Hot Air Affair committee with the original Flakes and Flames.
That's it, folks. Wave to them.
RPG is one of the balloon sponsors. And walking right behind them is the Hot Air Affair committee, part of it. And we'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight and enjoying this nice warm weather.
Hi there, girls.
If you think back about 10 years ago, it was 35 below, so this is a welcome.
Now, 7:30 in the morning, we have a balloon launch, folks, and we're going to look forward to you being there. We've got that. We'll have a complete. All of that is going to be at EP Rock Fairground at the EP Rock grounds, and that's over on 13th and Sumner Street. And there'll be concessions, and there will also be all types of vendors there with booths and hot air memorabilia.
And also, it is a election year, so mayor for mayor.
Mayor for mayor. All right, 7 o'clock in the morning, we'll have a pancake breakfast at the Masonic Temple on 220 Locust Street, and that is sponsored by the Masonic Lodge 56. So y'all can eat your breakfast: pancakes, scrambled eggs, biscuits, sausage and gravy, ham, fruit, rolls, and beverage for $6.50 for adults and $3.50 for children under 12. Don't forget, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at night is the Marketplace and Craft Fair at the EP Rock School. The craft and souvenir selection with special winter apparel and Hot Air Affair emphasis. Visit the Hot Air Affair booth for souvenirs.
And we also have the Vintage Alliance here with their little antics. And we have the Winter Fireflies. They are from, I believe, the great state of Milwaukee for the 17th year, 10th year, 13th year. 13's a bad year.
No, it's lucky.
It's a great year, okay.
It's lucky.
Welcome the ladies from Milwaukee, 13 years.
And what a party they have. Got it.
And another one of their balloons are sponsored by a Press Center. Mike from Storm Lake, Iowa.
Remember, folks, we want to always thank our sponsors. We have a fireworks display tonight by one company close to my heart, Anderson Corporation. And then U.S. Bank has sponsored many of the floats that will be in the parade, as well as the hot air balloons.
And also, we'd like to thank Maurice's for part of the sponsoring. They're doing some things up at EP Rock School, the Marketplace, tomorrow. And we'd like to thank one of our balloon educators today, Remax Team 1, Minnesota Valley Balloons, going around to the schools. For any of your home purchases, just get a hold of Jim Henry. He's got a lot of property. You can always use a new customer. I get 20%, Jim. I'll be walking on your back.
You're fine.
And we have the Miss Hudson Court. They've been very instrumental in helping us, or Prescott, they're visiting us tonight. Prescott Court. And we do ask that the kids stay back a little bit, even though they are throwing candy out. Please stay back, and we'd like to thank the Civil Air Patrol for helping out.
They say, let's stay safe out there. Let's enjoy this, but let's be safe.
Bid on this playhouse, casino night, Hudson community. They're trying to raise the money, I believe, for a park, for some playground equipment.
And we got the little ones just moving right by here in front of us.
And once again, we'd like to thank our corporate sponsor, Burnix Pepsi. Let's give Burnix a nice round of applause.
Yeehaw!
All beverages are Pepsi Cola, served during this event, so sponsored, we appreciate.
So remember, folks, this year we are Flakes and Flames is the title of our event.
Our playground that we're building. It's for Hudson Bagel. Well, not to them. They don't eat. Well, we might want candy. Who knows?
This weekend is a spectator sport. The balloons are sponsored by local businesses.
And we have Wind Dancer coming up here.
Warming up the nice skies.
Time to warm up the judges.
And he is sponsored by Viax Converting from Waukesha, Wisconsin. And the more you bribe the judges, the better chances are that you will get a prize.
All right.
So if you warm their cockles of their heart,
All right. We also thank you. It warms us.
This way.
Now remember, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning is volleyball in the snow. So at Lakefront Park, downtown, there will be prizes, and it's sponsored by Dick's Bar and Grill and Riversides. Also at 10 o'clock at the Pets in the Plaza. That's sponsored by Angel Pet World and True Value Hardware, Lindy's Hallmark, the Mattress Gallery, and M&M Bank and Freedom Value Centers.
and we have Wild John, too much fun, with Miss Hudson Court on board. And we'd like to thank Denny Heckers, Hudson Pontiac GMC, for the nice tow vehicle. Hey, don't fall and break a arm. RPG, we have 4 guys with smooshing. They will try to smoosh on what's supposed to be snow, but it's going to be wet grass tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock, and we have the devil himself. How you doing?
I'm hot. Who's burning world-class athletes? That's what we're looking for.
John's tried to get this as an Olympic event, but we can't get Nancy Kerrigan or Tanya Harding to do it.
This won't do it.
One of our 17-year sponsors, Risco Print Graphics. John Knutson and crew do a great job for us. All the events up at EP Rock School are free to go and watch, and there are some things that we ask for donation, tickets, Winter Olympiad, but the flights will be free. Come early, get a nice parking spot.
And I believe the Mayflower new this year?
What? Yeah. Mayflower is visiting us. Metcalf.
Just along Highway 36 up in the Twin Cities, Metcalf Movers.
And we also have a penguin this year. Fitting for a nice cold evening. Broken Back Balloonist.
Third priority hot air balloonist.
Sort of sounds like a sequel to a movie.
Let's hope not. Although I don't know, these guys behind here are more like Deliverance to me.
Yeah! Third priority. No steers having a problem with you guys. Chicone Liquor Mart is their sponsor.
Like they're fired up now. Nice nose.
One too many lies, huh?
And this is the Green Mill restaurant, sponsored by Green Mill. Careful for Frosty back there.
Rubber Ducky.
Whoa.
Is the name of this balloon? Rubber Ducky.
Everybody needs a rubber ducky.
I won't go there. And we'd also like to thank the emergency services of Hudson, Hudson Police Department, Hudson Fire, and St. Croix EMS. They'll be providing security and safety up at the launch field tomorrow and tomorrow night at the Moon Glow Field of Fire. That will be determined tomorrow night. That is a go on either end, either a Field of Fire or Moon Glow. And when you see the rigs up there, you can go up and I'm sure the firefighters will be more than happy to show you their equipment. Oh, hi Skinny.
And while you're up there also, folks, don't hesitate to thank your firefighters. They do a lot for our community.
Once again, let's hear it for the Hudson Fire Department.
They appreciate it, folks. They really do.
They are volunteers, and for what they do get paid for a fire call, they are true volunteers and heroes. And in the aerial bucket we have the Lion, and there's a Lion's Breakfast coming up, and I believe that is
Tomorrow morning.
tomorrow morning. Lion's Breakfast at the Masonic Lodge. Tomorrow morning, right? Sunday.
Sunday!
Oh, a day late and $1 short. But Sunday, hey Butch. Sunday at Garfield's, the Lions Breakfast. They help out the Hudson Fire Department quite a bit throughout the year with fundraising. And we'd also like to thank the St. Croix EMS paramedic and advanced life support guys and gals. Just remember, there's all sorts of activities going on tomorrow at EP Rock School. There's also a pet contest if you want to decorate your or put stuff on your pet. They will judge them. And one of our other sponsors that we take for granted is Lake Gas. They're giving us a good deal on some propane and here to support the Hot Air Affair.
Believe it or not, they use a lot of propane every day.
If anybody has an ugly hat that they're wearing, come over to the judges and they will judge you and you could win a dandy prize. One of our balloonists is Neil Anderson, Garfield. The fat cat's back.
All right.
Yellow Brick Road. Judges are on that trailer right there.
Oh, wow. That just might do it.
U.S. Bank brings us this next balloon, and you are U.S. Bank balloon.
5-star service guarantee by U.S. Bank. Another one of our sponsors.
Once again, anybody that's got an ugly hat that wants to get judged, just come on over to the judges and they will judge. They're on the back of the trailer.
I feel like I'm dropping.
Storm Lake, Iowa. And thank them for coming up. Name of your balloon is Condor 2. Condor 2, sponsored by Pepsi Cola, our corporate sponsor.
And here we got a Beetle by Community Banking. First National Bank.
It looks like the eagle has landed.
It very well could have. As long as it's in our pockets, I mean, that'd be even better yet.
That eagle.
Oh, that eagle. Oh, okay. I was thinking of the dollar bill.
22? Yeah, there's a couple dollars.
Once again, we have all sorts of sponsors that we'd like to thank. A lot of new sponsors. It's great community support that we do get for this event. The pilots come from all over, and we have sponsored by the Minuteman and
Minuteman Press.
Steve McCoy out of Omaha, Nebraska. The pilots come from far and near. One from North Carolina. A lot of them go down to Albuquerque for the Nationals flights.
Illinois vehicle here in Chance.
Goldie from Illinois.
Thanks for coming.
Illinois.
Glad to have you. Again, don't forget liftoff tomorrow morning at 7:30 and 3:30 in the afternoon. Big Tootsie Rolls, big Tootsie Rolls.
And we'd like to thank Target for their support.
Don't forget give them to the judges now.
Yeah, the more you give to the judges, the better off your chances are.
Ah, here you
Oh wait, we're gonna discount the judges now.
And it's my trailer, so anything left on there is mine.
Like this happened, guys. Did you get a pencil?
We'd also like to thank our print media and regular video media. Channel 4 is over here tonight. Local cable channels here videotaping this. And our print media is our Pioneer Press. And all the Rivertown.
All the Rivertown Net people, you can go out to Rivertown Net and you can catch all of the local news.
Pioneer Press at twincities.com.
And we got a Mini Cooper.
I wonder how many clowns I can fit in that. It's not a corporate car, is it?
No, I don't think so.
I heard oxymoron earlier.
Or kind of like, yeah.
Common sense and lawyers.
Ooh.
The barrel that's in
I
there.
wouldn't know. Yes, a whole handful there.
She was waving with all 5 hands.
Yes.
She is also our president of the Hot Air Affair. Does a lot of work to make this happen.
When we say a lot of work, folks, you can't believe the time and hours that are spent by community volunteers just to pull this off, just to make it happen for you.
And all the stupid emails that she gets. Well, I thought you guys were going to flip them up or do something like they do at the Winter Carnival. A flying penguin. M&I Bank brings us the Penguin. Our commercial balloon sponsors is U.S. Bank of Hudson, Remax Team Realty of Hudson, Mayflower Transit, Metcalf Mayflower, and Viking Electronics. Our charter balloon sponsors, Risco Print Graphics, Dick's Bar and Grill, Hudson House Inn, Zappa Brothers. Starting back a few years ago, the Hip Center for the Arts decided to get into the act with Hot Air Affair. And they have been doing crafts with the kids. That's crafts with the FT. And this year they have come up with penguin and flakes costumes.
And that's what creativity is all about, folks.
Let's hear it for the Phipps Center for the Arts.
Remember, we'll have the Garfield balloon this year and Remax. And here comes Great Clips. And the old story, they asked if you got a haircut, and I said, no, I got them all cut. But at my age, they say, you got all your hair? I said, yes, in a cigar box.
Just remember, we have all sorts of fun activities going on this weekend. There's a chili cook-off at Dick's Bar and Grill on Sunday. You can get ready for the big game with some nice chili. And enjoy the big game Sunday afternoon or evening.
And they could go from mild to the hottest chili you can ever imagine.
And it's just Ducky out here. With Just Ducky from Ellsworth, Wisconsin. They are sponsored by Baldwin Telecom.
And St. Croix National Golf Course.
Think spring, think golfing.
All right, a little bit of rock and roll. Northern Voices, oral choir for the deaf. We also have Hazelton. Where am I gonna go when the volcano blow? There's Jimmy Buffett there. I think one of my favorites of his is Cheeseburger in Paradise, which I could use right now.
I had one earlier. And tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, somewhere in there, we have the Freedom Value Center tent. That'll be on the backside in between the EP Rock School and the launch field. It's free, fun, entertainment, music, food, warmth, out of the wind. Free for everybody that shows up. Freedom Value Centers.
There you go.
If you've got a silly hat, just come on over. We have Mr. Piano Man himself, April Love, Cap Snowflake.
Yeah, Snowflake. You got it.
And I heard you were the leader.
Been your flame for quite a while, I gather. Okay.
Sponsored by NMC. Mr. Johnson and April Love.
There we go. We have some more flakes.
Eric the Red Balloon, giving us a little warmth tonight, providing some entertainment tomorrow.
Skakuza
from Atlanta, Georgia.
Ooh, quite a distance.
Quite a temperature change too.
That's their chase vehicle up front.
I'll be chasing back to Georgia. So these balloonists aren't all locals, they're from all over, and we appreciate them coming up.
Here we have a double
and we have our Grand Marshal, Matt and Bobby Whitaker. Again.
We never get tired.
See, I got out here late. Oh, I'm going to get knighted?
Oh, Lordy.
Let's hear it for Matt Whitaker. He flies a balloon real good, too. And tomorrow night at the launch field, there'll be either Field of Fire or Moon Glow. If it is a Field of Fire, you'll see exactly what they're doing right now, randomly throughout the field. The great balls of fire. We have a little fun with that, so we have audience participation. And if it's a Field of Moon Glow, we'll do the same thing and bring your cameras. A lot of nice photo opportunities that time.
Look at that.
Burn, burn, burn.
Once again, we'd like to thank all our sponsors.
Denny Hecker coming through.
You'll hear more of them tomorrow. There's brochures at every business place in town. Go and support the businesses that sponsor, support Debo's Sports Club, all the restaurants in town, following the fireworks. And we conclude with the king and queen of the parade,
The great Brunhilde's up there.
Viking Electronics, who started out 17 years ago wanting a kazoo band. They got a little louder than kazoos now. But we want to thank Viking Electronics, local business that's nationwide, providing corporate telephone systems for everybody.
There you go, you got it.
Any job openings?
Keep that kazoo going.
Originally started by the Martins. This concludes the parade. Go on down to the Lakefront Park. Watch the wonderful fireworks provided by Anderson Window Corporation. See you at the launch field tomorrow morning at 7:30 is the anticipated launch.
Great kickoff here, folks.